What's going on, everybody? I hope you all are having a fantastic day. And today, we're talking about Kanye West again, as it seems like he's making another comeback. He's returned to the public eye. I think, as of the recording this video, I think like 12 hours ago, something like that. He was on stage with Travis Scott in Japan. He looks happy. He looks healthy. He looks refreshed. He's back. He's returned to the public eye, and I think it's worth having a conversation about because there are so many elements to his story and Kanye West, yay, in the present day. There's just so much to unravel. So I figured it's worth having a conversation about. First off, he has apologized for everything that he said earlier in the year. He spoke to a very famous rabbi. I don't know his name, but he spoke to a rabbi. Somebody recorded it, basically apologizing for everything that he said, expressing genuine remorse, and saying that it was his bipolar disorder that has caused him to sort of unravel a little bit, which is interesting because during his episode, he had said he's not bipolar, blah 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 blah, and that he was autistic or something like that. So I think that sort of just reaffirms that it was a bipolar episode, and while that's not an excuse for him to actually admit that, it's a step in the right direction. And he said a lot of shit. He said a lot of very hurtful things. And as a fan, who I've expressed very much in the past that I'm not with anything that he said, that I think he's a terrible person, but at the same time, I do think that when people express it in a genuine way, that people can change and people can turn the corner. Now, I'm cautiously optimistic here because, like I said earlier, he's making another comeback. This is not the first time this has happened. A couple years ago, he made an apology in Hebrew, apologizing for his comments in 2022. He went on to release his Vulture series, and then earlier this year, he completely masked off. Just, you all know. I don't think I have to repeat anything, but everyone knows what he said. He said some very horrible things about Jewish people, about just groups in general. Really, really hurtful things, and he's really digging at Virgil, which was also hurtful. He just burned every single bridge, and for him to actually speak in words for the first time, like ever, about all of this, dating back to 2022, he seemed very genuine. So, cautiously, I'm optimistic. He has a long way to go. He has a lot of people to apologize to, but I really think that it's important to have these kinds of conversations because you are going to hear about him in the news over the next couple weeks. Like we've gone this road before. Like he's trying to make a comeback. So I feel right now that his apology was genuine. We'll find out over the next year, I guess, whether or not that's the case. But I do think it's important to give people a second chance to forgive. And it's a nice first step for him to truly have remorse for everything that he said and everything that he's done. And for him to admit, really for the first time since 2018, that he's struggling with bipolar disorder, that's also a trend in the right direction. Now, in terms of the actual music, because I'm assuming at some point in the future he's gonna release new music. He's still, Bully is supposed to come out like in December. It's probably not gonna happen, but in terms of the actual music, I don't know. I really, in 2025, for the first time ever, I'm doubting his ability to actually make music, real music, not even good music, real music, because everything we've seen from him this year has been artificial intelligence. It's been trash. It's been horrible. Donda 2 AI. I made a video about that already. Bully, which is all AI. I don't know if he's able to make music again, let alone prove that he has changed. Because although I am willing to give people a second chance, you have to actually prove it. An apology is great. It's a great first step. You got to actually go out and prove it, right? So I do think that selfishly, as a fan, I'm excited a little bit. I'm happy because this guy's my favorite artist. One of my favorite artists. Honestly, it's between him and Michael Jackson. It's him or Mike. I go back and forth all the time in my head about who I love more. Like, he is one of my favorites of all time. He has made so many classics, so much impactful music over the past 20 years. And again, that's why I'm very cautious about not only his comeback, about his ability to make music, because we've seen over the past couple of years a complete 180. His impact on art, his impact on music, it's been non-existent. Now, I'm someone who is a Vultures 1 defender, if you will. I don't think it's a great album. I think it's a good album. I like it. Vultures 2 was horrible. The re-release of Donda 2 was horrible. Bully, what we've gotten so far, I made a video about that when it first came out on YouTube. Horrible. There's potential. The production is great, but the vocals are AI. He hasn't made a great album, arguably since Donda, or if you want to be that guy, arguably since Ye in 2018. So I am optimistic about where things are heading with him, but just a little bit of a shadow of a doubt as to where things are going to head in the future, because one, I've touched on it before, but he's apologized before, but I'm a little bit optimistic this time, because the first time he apologized in Hebrew, posted something on Instagram, then 30 minutes later posted about his Yeezy Pods. He apologized to go sell shoes and market his new album. Now, I'm sure this time it's the same thing. He literally, a day after apologizing, was on stage with Travis Scott. But there is a difference between just posting something and never addressing it again, and actually sitting down with one of the people that your words hurt and expressing true, genuine remorse. Now, if you're someone who doesn't care what he does, you're done with him forever, you think he's a horrible human being, that's totally okay. That's fine. I don't blame you. And for someone who was hurt to see their favorite artist go down this rabbit hole of hate and just being a terrible person, I'm a little conflicted on what to think, but selfishly I am excited. Selfishly, I want to see him succeed. I want to see him make good music. I want to see him be Kanye West again. I want to see that. I don't know if we're going to see that, but I want to see that selfishly. But I think it's a conversation worth having. I think that if we were to see a comeback, we're seeing it right now, but if we were to see a full comeback of Kanye West, I hope he sits down with someone and talks about what he did this year, the things that he said, and truly has a heart to heart. Because at the end of the day, he is a father. He is a human being. He is suffering from a horrible mental illness. And although none of those things are excuses for the terrible things that he said, I do think now that he has expressed this genuine remorse, I'd like to hear his thoughts on his mindset right now. Because I am genuinely curious about his mindset in the modern day. And I do think that if we are to see a future in which he does release music, the hope is that he returns to form. I don't know if he can. I hope he proves me wrong at some point, but I don't know if he can. I know I'm rambling a little bit. Those are just my thoughts on the current situation. I mean, like, look, you all know by now I'm a huge Kanye fan. Like, 25% of my channel is talking about like Kanye albums or songs, stuff like that. Like, but at the same time, I've also been very critical of his Nazism, his bigotry, his hate. Been very critical of it. So, again, while I'm willing to give people another chance when they express genuine remorse, I'm a little, not a little. I'm very very cautious. I'm cautiously optimistic. That's all. That's basically it. If you happen to sit through all of this, thank you. I appreciate it because I mean, I just normally I have a script for my videos, but I just wanted to sit down and talk about it. That's all. Let's talk about it. That's all. Thank you, and I'll see you on the flip side.